This edition of Close Up in Class looks at religious liberty and the Supreme Court. Lori, should for-profit businesses be eligible for a religious exemption from the contraceptive mandate?
We think that at least some for-profit businesses should be able to get these religious exemptions. Under other parts of our Constitution, the Supreme Court has said you don't look at the entity, the person who's bringing the suit. You look at the act, the Speech Act or the Religious Exercise Act. Here, this is clearly religious exercise. This is people who've said we cannot, in good conscience, be part of providing drugs or devices that could terminate a human life. They said they won't be part of that. That's a religious decision. It's a religious exercise. And so it should be protected, whether it's coming from the family directly or whether it's coming through the family business that they own and operate. The Supreme Court answered that question several years ago. It said that the Religious Freedom Restoration Act mandates a case-by-case analysis. So you don't worry about the next case or the next thing that might happen. You focus on the facts in front of you. Do the facts in front of you show a substantial burden on religion? And do the facts in front of you show a compelling government interest in what the government's trying to accomplish? And so even if Hobby Lobby prevails, that doesn't mean that the next case is going to win necessarily. That means that the government just needs to do a better job of coming in and proving that their interest is truly compelling.
People have sincerely held beliefs about contraception and they're for it or against it. They believe as a moral matter that family planning is a good idea, or in the case of some of the businesses involved in these lawsuits today, that it is sinful to use some or all kinds of contraception. In my judgment, a company cannot dictate for all of its employees, directly or otherwise, what moral choice they will be permitted to make. Contraception is not cheap, particularly for young women or students in a high school, a college, a university, and for them not to be allowed to engage with their insurance company and obtain the services that they choose is a substantial burden on them. Sometimes I think that people worry so much about some tiny burden, cover this, cover that, in a huge insurance contract in their company, and ignore the fact that this makes a great deal of difference for individual women making individual moral choices. To me, the compelling reason to not allow these exemptions is to protect the integrity of the conscience of women students and employees who might choose to use these services.